What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little mid-lane Morigesh. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Auto Shield, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly, overpowered spells for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Font of Experience, Astral Leap, Invader Mage, Power Tap, Atomic Soldier, Shadow Dancer, Awaken the Imric, Black Ice Routine, and lastly, Plague Lord. Now I was first pick in this draft and I went with Morigesh. They counterpicked with an Iggy, and you know, Iggy is a very solid counterpick to Morigesh because she is more of a short-range caster, and you know, Iggy's got pretty long range with those turrets. You can see here, taking a lot of damage, but I want to down that turret so I can stay close and get my farm, everything like that. But at the same time, you do have to play carefully. Now, Iggy's turrets, how they work is when he attacks something, those turrets will attack that same target. So, if he throws down a turret and you have a minion wave in, you can see here this turret is going to target minions, and it will not switch to me unless Iggy actually hits me and, you know, kind of changes where that target is. Now, I've taken a ton of damage so far, and you can see I don't have Healing Towers yet, but that's quite alright. I'm going to just really try to remain as safe as possible. Iggy is playing very, very recklessly right now because, you know, I am very low. He wants to kill me. And knowing this, I can kind of adjust how I'm going to play. You can see I back out of that turret. I do take a little bit of poke, but I'm just waiting for that 1,000 points, throw on my Healing Towers, and I'm going to stay here. Now, we will get some jungle rotation very shortly, and this is perfect. Iggy's going to be completely out of mana, and it's going to set him up for an easy kill. You can see I'm, again, going in on those turrets. They did not damage me at all because Iggy did not adjust where they were actually being, you know, targeting or whatever. So, this, you know, him playing so recklessly put him out of position. Rampage is able to rotate over with green, and we're able to wrap this kill up. Now, I do have quite a bit of lag in this match. I am, my hive is not working correctly. My basic attacks are not hitting. There's just a little bit of latency, and in a game like Paragon, having that latency is absolutely huge. We do manage to get out. You know, Rampage was probably going to secure that kill, but you know, I'm not really sure why the turrets actually targeted onto me. They should have stayed on Rampage, but maybe green buff resets the targeting like so many other abilities do. But we were able to wrap that kill up. You know, there's great gank on Rampage's part, and that is just Iggy playing way too recklessly because I was low on health. You know, the only reason I was able to do that the way I was is because he thought he was going to kill me. And, you know, that's just kind of a lesson learned for him, hopefully. Now, you can see he is zoning me out with these turrets, but again, I'm just going to target these turrets, take them out. I am under tower. You know, without him having a whole lot of power so far, he's not going to do just a whole lot with his turrets. And if I can avoid getting hit by him, they're not going to really target me all that much. So, although Morigesh is not the best to deal with Iggy, you know, she doesn't have really any type of abilities that can take out Iggy without putting her in danger. You know, the best way to deal with Iggy is to have your caster kill Iggy, or have, you know, your ADC just blow these turrets up. The higher up in level he gets, the harder it's going to be for me to take these turrets out, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, one thing about Iggy is when he goes away from his turrets, you can see that one, it kind of just powered down. He has to be in range of these turrets for them to be active. So you can tell, you know, if you don't have vision on him, but his turrets are up, you know he's hiding somewhere. Or you can see, like, hey, he's actually making a pretty big rotation because all of his turrets just died in mid. So that's one way you can use to communicate with your team if he is rotating. But, you know, Iggy's not the best at rotating because, you know, it does take him a little bit to get set up. So, as Morigesh, it's much easier for me to rotate and, snag kills than it would be for Iggy. And one main job of the mid laner is to be able to rotate, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Now, our off lane and jungle are, kind of getting collapsed on. I'm going to head over and I'm just going to focus the ADC. I'm not too worried about Rampage. He might be able to stun me or whatever, but hey, no problem at all. I got that mark. I was able to, hit level 5, so I was able to ult more Murdoch and, just take him out. And that's exactly what you want to do as the mid laner. I head back to my lane. I am going to have to deal with Iggy, and he is a little more set up, but, in all honesty, Iggy's, no matter what lane he's in, he's very hard to deal with. He's such a good defensive hero. You can't be worried about him taking a T1 or something like that, and, don't risk your life for it. Just play it calm, deal with his turrets, if he's going to get set up and you can't stop it, let him get set up. And, just stay close enough to get experience, but out of range of all of his abilities. And once he makes a mistake, you can really punish him because Iggy is fairly weak. Now, Iggy has set up at the river, so, I can't stay close to the river, and I see Aurora show up, I'm just going to instantly dip out, I'm not going to risk her freezing me, Iggy getting a little bit of poke. I just don't want to deal with that. He's now going to be able to push because, that's what he does, but that's quite alright. I'm not particularly worried about him being able to down the tower because Iggy cannot really come under tower. All he can do is force his minion waves into tower. So, knowing that, I'm not particularly scared of him actually coming into tower. And you can see that that's another example of that latency issue. I actually hit Iggy with that hive, but it didn't go off. Just, it is very hard to see probably the latency I'm talking about because it's more of an in-game type issue. But trust me, it's happening. Now, I do go try to help out with that Rampage, but, I'm out of mana. There's not a whole lot I can do, but I was hoping maybe just that small push would, provide a little bit of something, but, being completely out of mana, that last little run fast button, whatever that ability is, that just really cost everything I had, and not a whole lot I can do about it. Now, there is a huge presence in mid. Iggy's here, their Rampage is here, our Rampage is here, and I'm saying, you know what, I'm low. If we get into a fight, there's going to be absolutely nothing I can do about it. I've got one ability, no power at all. I'm going to head back, throw on Invader Mage, but they're able to bully that lane and push it into the, they're able to take out our tier 1. And, that's really not an issue. It does suck losing a tier 1, but since Iggy is their mid laner, if he ever extends, this far up, we will be able to rotate on him very easily. And, that's something that I'm personally counting on. If he rotates, we're going to take care of him. Or maybe not rotate, but if he pushes up, we'll take care of him, no problem. And, from here, I'm just going to get this lane pushing the right way and continue my farm. Again, we lose this tower at, 9 minutes in, but really, guys, that's not that big of a deal. Towers are designed to fall, especially the tier 1s. So, if you are, getting put into a situation where it's very unsafe for you to farm, which, having Iggy's presence, it's pretty unsafe for me to farm, don't feel bad about letting that tower fall. You can see Iggy's setting up, and he's set up very far. So, this will just allow us to gank him much, much easier. We just need to be careful about when we choose to gank. And, again, focus his turrets. Don't let his turrets, be an issue. Now, he does end up making a mistake here. He runs away from his turrets, and I'm going to punish him for it. Rampage shows up, and he tries to, use his ult, but since Rampage is here, we're going to be able to take him out no problem. I'm actually going to go run over to the river buff. Hopefully it's there, and if it is, hey, I'm going to get full on mana. I'll be able to actually get my ultimate and take him out in a minute, but they secure that kill. Iggy made that mistake of leaving So that allowed us to collapse on him. And guys, that's exactly how you deal with Iggy. I know, this is a Morigesh video and I've talked a whole lot about Iggy, but, it was, a perfect match for me to talk about this because we do counter him very well in this match. And this is exactly how, guys. Wait for them to make a mistake. You're not going to just be able to go bully him out of the lane. You have to wait for him to do something bad and then punish him for it. And, so far, that's exactly what we're doing. Now, Morigesh is pretty mana hungry in the beginning of the game, especially if you like to use abilities as much as I do. So, I've really got to try to get that mana flow on quickly. Now, our Fang is in trouble. I'm going to head over, and hopefully we'll be able to deal with this Aurora. I'm able to get quite a bit of damage on her, but, it cost a lot of mana to use all these abilities the way I am. And she is level 4, so I'm really hoping, hey, we probably would be able to take her out. But, unfortunately, we're not able to. It really is no problem. I really didn't want to use every bit of mana that I had. But, it is what it is. I really thought we'd get that kill. Unfortunately, like I said, we didn't. Time to head back to mid lane, readjust this. You can see, Iggy is, the lane pusher that he is. We are able to counter push him fairly decently because we are punishing him for the mistakes that he's making. And that's exactly it, guys. If you can punish Iggy in the beginning, it's going to take him much longer to come online. Hitting level 10 or hitting level 8 so he can get his turrets fully maxed out is huge for him. So if you're able to shut him down, that allows your team to get more fed than he is, and you can really kind of control how Iggy's played. Now, Fang is a little bit out of position. There was a pretty big team collapse on him. You could see there was 4 heroes around there, so we definitely have to be pretty careful. And I do have enough mana to actually, do a few abilities, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and mark Iggy, and I know we've got some team presence heading over here, so we're going to make sure to take him out. Now, I'm just going to straight up secure that kill. We could have left that for our jungler or things like that, but that would have given him just a split second to use that ultimate, and that might have really chunked down some heroes, or it could have prevented us from taking him out because of the slow. So it's best just to secure that kill, and especially being Morigesh, I don't have the best wave clear, and it's very good for me to get kills. I don't think I'm quite classified as an assassin, but, I am really that single target hero, and, I need kills to really get my farm. Now, once I'm back, I do have enough points to actually throw on Atomic Soldier, and I'm actually going to wait around. I get another 1,000, I still pick up that advanced evolution, so I do have some sustain, and, Atomic Soldier, man, that card makes you hit hard, so... Now, this Iggy, he gets caught out. He's got his turn. You can see he doesn't have his turret set up right now. And this is a great opportunity for me. Now, he just has one turret set up, so I'm just going to rush up there, take him out. No problem at all. You can see that was very quick. Go in, use my run fast button, mark him, run away a little bit, ult him. He's done, and that's going to allow me to also get out as well because, that run fast button's on a fairly short cooldown. So this is the type of way you deal with heroes as Morigesh. You jump in, do your stuff, get out, or you might need to, go in one time, do your stuff, go back out, and then rush in again, do your stuff. That kind of poke till they're dead, except Morigesh's poke hurts pretty hard. Now, I end up picking up purple buff, so I'm kind of looking around seeing, hey, can I do anything? Is there anything that I can do? Get a gank maybe, but there's really nothing going on. So, just kind of gonna go, well, maybe I'll just get some really good poke on Iggy. And sure enough, that's what we decided to do. Go ahead, start out with a hive, hit him with a mark. This is going to take him down quite a bit, and it also forces him to throw another turn out. Which, he's spending his mana, and I'm getting good damage on him, and this is exactly what I want. Now, again, I'm going to go in. You can see I run through all the minions. That's going to give me that great health sustain that I really need, and I'm able to hit him with another mark. So, I did take a little bit of damage going in for that, but since I did have that health regen, you know, I did kind of heal up a little bit. Now, Rampage did use his ult to, you know, try to get that gank on me, but, you know, Rampage is... he's lost a lot of his ganking potential, in my opinion, since they got rid of his leap. And, you know, if you want to gank with Rampage, you definitely need to have that boulder out before you get in earshot of the enemy. And, you know, I was able to hear that. Not only that, you know, they get the big face on the screen now, so it was much easier to evade that. And we forced Rampage's ult out, which, you know, at this stage, it's still on a fairly long cooldown. Now, we get some great rotation. You could see our Richter and our Murdoch were waiting behind that fog wall. And, you know, we kind of did a countdown, 1, 2, 3, go, and we were able to just delete Iggy. And this is going to allow us to put a ton of pressure on this mid lane and take this 2-1 out. Now, Rampage does get caught out a little bit, and sure enough, with this huge team rotation, we're able to take him out as well. Now, there are 4 of us here in mid. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to at least take out this T2, if not, just get some damage on it, but sure enough, they're not going to be able to contest this at all. Now, you might be wondering why I just zoomed across right there. That was because Aurora showed up. And, you know, I did not want to get froze. But I am out of mana. You know, guys, this was a poor decision on my part. And, you know, hopefully y'all can learn from this. Don't run back into the fight when you're out of mana. You know, I did escape that Aurora ultimate, and the reason I went just straight forward is because it's much easier for me to go straight forward than backwards. I still don't play on super high sensitivity with my mouse. You know, I probably should turn it up, but haven't done it yet. And, you know, that was kind of the main reason for that. I just wanted to get out of Aurora's ultimate. But I still ended up going down. You know, that was very unfortunate. Murdoch's cop lights work so much better than they used to. You know, all in all, that was very successful. We ended up getting 3 kills and a T2 mid for a, you know, mid lane, plus the ADC ends up going down here because this fight never really wrapped up. But we end up taking out an Iggy as well. So, you know, I would say we definitely got the better hand on that. I really should have just ran through the jungle whenever I ran through there, but, you know, that was just a bad play on my part. We all do them, guys, and you can definitely see there was no reason for me to go back into that fight, and since I did, I got severely punished for it. Now, once we spawn back in, you know, we head back to mid. It's kind of that same old thing. Aurora shows up. Now, Aurora's severely underfed, and I know she just used her ultimate in that last fight. She doesn't have rank 2, so I know she doesn't have her ult back, and then Murdoch's right there, and, you know, Murdoch hurts at this point. So I'm just going to kind of juke around as much as I can. You can see I head back through the minions to make sure that I get some of that health regen. I'm actually able to jump down there, and we end up securing that kill on Aurora. Right whenever I was about to round that corner, Murdoch gets a great snipe. You know, great job on his part, guys. You know, he does end up actually getting out of that as well, but Shimby is punished severely for that. So, you know, a mid laner for a support, and I believe Shimby's their off lane. I'm hoping Shimby's their off lane. So, you know, it turned out okay. That was definitely my fault again, guys. You know, I shouldn't have been there. I should not have engaged on that fight without having vision on the team. I thought I'd be able to wrap it up a lot easier, you know, but yeah, that was on me. You know, we got some good jukes, things like that, and we allowed our team to collapse and capitalize on that, but, you know, it did remove me from the fight. Now, once we spawn back in, the fight's still kind of going on. You know, this is a very staggered fight, guys. Started with Aurora, and it's kind of evened out and then gone back in. You know, it's kind of going crazy. But we did end up securing Aurora a second time, and, you know, we're here. We're going to be able to take out that Murdoch. Rampage, you know, he does a great job there, but I'm on his tail. You know, we're going to take out Rampage. I'm not having him kill my team anymore, and we need to do a 3-for-3 trade. Sure enough, we get it. So, mid lane and jungle on our side are alive. Mid lane and off lane are alive on their side. You know, it's probably not the best situation, but we did definitely turn a bad situation around and at least, you know, make kind of an even trade. Now, I'm going to try to get this lane pushing, and then I see Rampage and Iggy, you know, they're kind of going at it. So I'm going to head over and do the best I can to help out. And I see Iggy's running up the ladder. I know he's only got one of two ways to go, and being down on the bottom, that's the best place for me. Sure enough, we're able to secure that kill, no problem at all. And head back, kind of keep our lane pushing. You know, getting the enemy team on staggered death is so important at this later stage. Or, you know, maybe not quite as important as hurtful. And you can see this Murdoch, we're going to make short work of Murdoch, guys. You know, with my ability to, you know, do my little run fast button, I can go onto the other side of him, you know, trick him, make it a lot harder for him to actually get those kills, things like that. And, you know, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, my team decides to go for Fang. And one thing about Morigesh is she offers almost nothing when it comes to clearing big objectives like Prime and Fang. But you can see I can run defense, even though I was very, very low. If Aurora would have got in and been able to get her ultimate off before she died, we would have lost Fang and maybe even got a team wipe there with, you know, Shimby and their Rampage showing up. So, me staying there, playing defensive, you know, I sacrificed myself for Fang and, you know, I guess an Aurora kill. But me being able to counterplay that is huge. And, you know, I gotta say, I stand by my decision. Even though, you know, I probably shouldn't have been there. But, no, I'm going to go ahead and head down to Prime Pit. You know, I had a sneaky suspicion they were there. And sure enough, you can see Iggy is getting set up for Prime. But the fight's not at Prime, so Iggy's, again, outside of his turrets. Now, Aurora does ult. You can see I run out of that fight. Just to get out as far as I can. We need to take out Rampage. You know, he's a big threat right now, and so sure enough, we focus him down, take him out. Iggy is here, and you can see his turrets are just everywhere, guys. But we're gonna go ahead, get him down, and get rid of these turrets. That's 4 kills right there, so we should be able to make some huge progress. And we did just have a Winion tower takedown on that off lane side. And they're about to start hitting that inhib. Now, my team is going to deal with Shimby, so she doesn't push into an inhib. And from here, I'm going to get this lane set. You can see I just run through, get that little damage, throw a, you know, a poison bomb on them, and then I'm going to head over to our jungle. You know, Weebs is pushing this lane, so I'm going to head over here, make sure that we take this inhib down, and, you know, sure enough, we're even able to get a good chunk of damage onto Aurora. I did end up hitting that frozen clone thing of her with that second mark, but no problem at all. And since I did set that lane before I rotated, you can see we're able to take down this second inhib, and this is time for me to get out. You know, Weebs is on his own. You know, he's Rampage. He should be able to get out of that. They're going to have to deal with that minion wave hitting the core anyways, so he should be able to get out, no problem. Now, from here, my team decides to go for Fang for the third, or the second time, I guess. And, you know, hey, there's no problem doing it if, you know, I think Prime would be a good objective as well, but hey, let's get it. And then we actually say, you know what, they're on Prime. You can see we do have it warded. So my entire team, except for Rampage, is going to peel off, head to Prime, and not only secure Prime, but we're going to start this team fight because, you know, yeah, we can't let them get Prime. And sure enough, that's what we do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just blink straight into everything. You can see, you know, one thing about Morigesh, if you can keep her away from you and, you know, not close to you, it's much easier to target her. But if she's able to use that run fast, kind of spin circles around you, you know, just confuse you, she's very tricky to hit. And that was my idea there. Just blink in, go start hitting people and running circles around them. Just, you know, confuse them with movement. That's exactly what we're able to do. Now, Iggy really should have got out here, but he didn't. And, you know, I gotta punish him for that. You know, with us having Prime, we're able to take him out, no problem. My team did end up staying back and securing Prime. That's why I'm just pushing this lane. I'm gonna just chase Iggy, get him out. I don't want to risk him stealing it, or, you know, hey, in this case, we ended up killing him, which was great. We end up taking Aurora out as well. You know, she's severely underfed. And, you know, that's really no problem for me. And Murdoch decides to chase me a little bit. You can see with my go fast button, I'm able to just outrun everything. You know, and if you kind of move sporadically, it's very hard to hit you. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Morigesh, guys. I really like Morigesh. But we end up wrapping up this match here. You know, this was a really fun match, and we had some great plays. Well, that's going to wrap it up for my Morigesh mid lane guide. I haven't played her in a while, guys. You know, I was so bad at misclicking with her, but I finally got that worked out. Well, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.